The reason mental health is important to me is because I've had my own mental health struggles in life. I've dealt with depression at different times, sometimes for extended periods. Um, but as I've worked on it, kind of in different processes over the years, I've really found that working on it and addressing those issues really makes a big difference. And I'm doing a lot better now than I was in earlier times in my life. And I think everyone goes through different types of struggles in life, whether they end up being serious or not. Everyone kind of just has the different ups and downs of life, and so I feel like everyone at some time or another has their own kind of mental health struggles or just emotional issues dealing with a difficult time. But obviously, that's nothing to be ashamed about, embarrassed about. It doesn't mean you're weak or anything like that. It's just kind of a natural part of life that happens at some time or another. In our society, men are often socialized to not talk about their emotions, or not talk about mental health issues, because it's been obviously it's not actually a sign of weakness, but it kind of traditionally has sometimes been seen as a sign of weakness. But the other point is it's really not, and that everyone, including men, need to address their mental health needs, because if there is an issue, the longer like you go without addressing it or without working on it, the bigger it can become. So I feel it's often better to try to like work on things earlier on when you start to notice them so that it doesn't become a big issue over time. Um, another thing I think about, this line I heard years ago that's a little bit corny, but I think it's true and it's stuck with me through the years. And that's don't compare your insides to someone else's outsides, which means it might seem like everyone else is doing fine, and if you're feeling bad, it can make you feel maybe even worse because you might think, "What's wrong with me? Everyone else seems fine. Why am I not fine?" The thing is, a lot of there might be a lot of other people thinking the same thing, that it seems like everyone's doing fine, but just because really so many of us, I mean, especially it can be even more true for men, but I think kind of people overall, even that it's often we're kind of made to feel like we shouldn't talk about our problems. But that kind of keeps us from connecting with other people who might be going through the same problems, and so at times we can think that I'm the only one going through something like this, or it's really unusual or weird. But the point is, it's really not. Just what people are presenting on the outside isn't always really a reflection of what they're feeling inside. And I think especially like now in the age of social media, that can be even more true, where people kind of present a certain public face of themselves, but that doesn't necessarily reflect everything of how they're really doing. What I do for my own mental health, I have kind of different day-to-day things in terms of like self-care type of practices, I guess you could call them. I like to stay active. I like to go for walks. I also like to cook and bake, and I feel that like really helps me relax and helps me kind of stay grounded in something in the present moment. And then also, I have had times where I've gone to therapy, and I know sometimes therapy can have like a stigma around it. Like it's sometimes some people might think that like if you're going to therapy, something must be really wrong, but that doesn't have to be the case. I think even if someone doesn't have any big problem, just kind of with the natural, again, like I said before, ups and downs in life, I think therapy can be really helpful, because it kind of gives you a space where you can talk openly about things without having to necessarily like worry about what the other person's thinking, and also get kind of their feedback as someone who's kind of a third party and not involved in your day-to-day life otherwise. And getting that type of feedback I've found can be really helpful, and think that can be helpful for a lot of people, kind of in a lot of situations. Again, like I said, even I mean, maybe if something big is going on, but even if nothing big is going on, just for kind of like the uh, you know everyday difficulties that can come up in life, it can be really helpful to have someone to discuss those things with, like in a therapy type of setting.